God damn, that's a good looking bike. What is going on, you guys? This is Ricky back with Espresso Racer, and today finally got my GT 650 back after all this time. The last time I think it was featured on the channel was about a month ago, but really that recording was back in May, and that's when most of my issues actually started happening with the bike. So in today's video, I just want to talk about everything that did end up happening with the bike, why it was out for about, I don't know, 3 months on and off, and what my plans are to do with the bike, whether or not I'm going to keep it. So to kick things off, again, the main issues I was having with it was that the check engine light, the ABS light would turn on whenever I was riding it, and it was bugging me because also the backlight on the motorcycle would actually go off as well. So it was just a whole bunch of things electronically and check engine wise that was driving me nuts seeing that, because I'm very anal about any lights going off on the bike, and I wanted to make sure that everything was okay with it. So the first thing that I ran into was that not too many motorcycle dealerships in Corpus actually deal with Royal Enfield, and luckily I was able to go to CC Motorsports, I believe they're called, up here in Corpus, and they were able to actually buy the wire that actually could say what was wrong with the engine itself. So they went ahead and got that shipped in. It took a long time for that to come through, but they finally found out that it was something to do with the battery. So completely swapped out the battery, picked it up like a month later, and sure enough, it was still giving me those same issues that I mentioned earlier. So back to square one, brought the bike back over to them. They found out it was something to do with the high voltage error or something like that. So they basically changed the rectifier, I believe it's called. I'm going to double check the paperwork when I get back home, but I believe it's something to do with the battery at high voltage, where that part was still going off. So back to the drawing board, they had to go ahead and reorder that, which took another month, and got that swapped out, and finally got rid of all the issues I was having on the dash. So when that happened, I thought everything was all good, everything was all set, and I could finally ride her all summer long. So after that, about a week later is when I noticed there was a gas leak. So the gas leak was coming from this pipe right here, the overflow wire piping, whatever you want to call it. So there was gas leaking from that, and I had no clue why that was happening. Literally flooded my whole, not flooded, but literally left a huge puddle in my garage, and I was like, I can't be dealing with another issue on this bike. So back to back issues that I dealt with, and for that one, come to find out, there was actually a pinhole somewhere on the tank of my original tank. So I had to get a whole tank swapped out. Luckily I found one in Florida that was slightly used, only about 300 miles I think, and so that came about a week later. Swapped it out, and here we are today after about 2 to 3 months of dealing with issues on the bike. Finally have her ready. Now I can't blame the dealership, or I can't really blame the people over here in Corpus, the service shop, because they're not really dealing with Royal Enfields often. If I actually went to a Royal Enfield dealership, the first problem probably would have been solved right off the bat. But either way, things happen with motorcycles, and I can't hold them to it. It is what it is, but it's a shame because up until this point, it has been absolutely reliable. Before this, I had no issues whatsoever. So it came as a shock to me when I found out that, you know, I couldn't ride it for 3 months. Like, it's never happened before. So overall, that's what happened to it and why I haven't been riding it as much, along the fact that I did get another motorcycle. But the only other mods I did to it was I did switch out the mirrors. I think this gives it a better low profile than the OEM bar end mirrors. And literally that's all I've done. So I still want to keep it kind of how it is. I'm still debating if I want to get aftermarket shocks, but I did also make these a little stiffer on the preload. So they I was noticing that whenever I go into a dip, that it would fuck up this license plate holder. So I figured make it more stiff, and it hasn't, you know, given me any issues since. So also gave it a fresh new oil change. Obviously did my normal maintenance of cleaning out the filter, the chain, all that stuff. So it is completely back to riding, and I'm so excited to film more content with it. I will say I have been debating if I was gonna get rid of it, and the only reason why was because I got a new motorcycle, I got a new car, and I was really debating, do I need a second motorcycle? But every single time I take it out, the more and more and more I realize how I really cannot get rid of this motorcycle. It is way too special. Still my first motorcycle I've ever owned, and it's at about, what is it now, 16,000 miles, 16,388 to be exact, and I'm still loving it. So I'm still gonna alternate riding this and the Honda CB650R, but it's still a blast to ride, still a great time. And it's a bike that I plan on keeping still for a very long time. To be honest, I just want to see how many miles I could rack up on this before it just falls off and, you know, falls apart completely. But overall, let me know what you guys think about any mods I should do to it. I'm thinking about, now that I have a spare tank, to actually get the original tank fixed with the pinhole and then get it fully repainted to a custom paint job. So if you have any ideas for that, please leave a comment down below. But yeah, stay tuned for more content on this bike as well as the CB650R. And if you guys want to see the Alfa Romeo Giulia, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll go ahead and get a video to that. But that is all for tonight. Just a quick update on the GT650. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe, all that. Till next time, guys.